This is a podcast brought to you by the Straits Times and the Business Times.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris and I'm your host for Money Hacks. We're talking a bit more about wine investment in this episode, and with us we have Roderic Proniewski, a wine specialist who has worked with ST Wine, which is SPH's wine club. And Roderic also runs his own wine business, Asia Wine Network. Welcome, Roderic. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here and be able to share with you my passion for wine and the potential of investment that you could find in it.
That's very interesting that you mentioned passion and investment in the same sentence. Can you talk a bit more about your passion for wine and what you do?
Okay. I like to enjoy wine. And to enjoy wine is to be able to drink it nearly any time of the day with any food. So I am helping companies, I'm helping people to be able to do the most complex process about the wine, which is a selection, and to know what to do with their wine, when to drink it, and how to drink it.
Interesting. So ST Wine, stwine.sg is something that you helped to give birth to. Can you please talk about ST Wine as a wine club and how you approached it when you were helping set it up?
Okay. ST Wine is an amazing gift for the listener or the people who use it, because they suddenly get able to enjoy the work of other people who are going to look at various wine, test the wine, and recommend when and how to drink the wine, even which kind of food.
How is ST Wine an interesting jumping off point to start with wine investment? Bearing in mind that when we talk about investment on this show, whether it's watches or art or wine, there are two elements. There's investment in yourself, your enjoyment, and there's investment in what you are paying for, what you're buying, what you're keeping, and you hope it will keep its value and hopefully even appreciate in value. How is ST Wine a good jumping off point to enter that world?
Wine starts as fashion and go into lifestyle. So fashionable product usually are collectible product that could have an appreciative value. At the same time, we say lifestyle. People are going into enjoying and investing on themselves by having nice drink, nice product to consume. So ST Wine look at it and say, we are going to give the opportunity to the people around us to get exposed and to have in front of them wine that are not necessarily the very big names that you see everywhere. So these wine, you could buy them to enjoy them, so you invest on yourself. Most of the wine will have a potential of aging. When they age, the value increase. So you buy them today, maybe next year the same wine will be more expensive. So it have appreciated, you still enjoy it by yourself, you have done a saving, so it's a good investment.
Perhaps we should caution our readers that there are wines, table wines, that you buy, say $15, $20, that are for everyday drinking, right? And those may not get better with age and may not appreciate in value. But of course, they are the bigger names, limited production, well-established brands that have a track record of appreciating. And those would be better vehicles for investment?
Exactly. When people look at investment, they look at what we call the blue chips. And the blue chips exist also in the wine business. So they are wineries that are very well known, that have a limited quantity of product. So everybody are looking for it. Then the difficult part will be to get access to this wine, to find them. But when you go into wine investment, into real pure financial gain, immediately you have to keep in mind that storage and keeping of this wine will become a key element. They need to be well kept. And when I say well kept, it's not just for you to make sure. You have to be able to give to the future buyers the guarantee that this wine was kept in the perfect condition.
And how do you do that? What's the best way to go about it?
When you go into wine investment, the best way is to be linked with real professional, okay, who will be able to give you the advice and who will be able to very often offer you the storage facility and services. So now if I go back to ST Wine, what ST Wine have been able to offer you? You want to collect painting, you want to collect watches, you have to be interested by the product. And very often being interested means that you want to enjoy it for yourself. You are not going to buy a watch that you don't like. It's the same way. You want to test different wine, and ST Wine gives you the opportunity to be exposed to a variety, and this variety will help you to define and decide, okay, what you like. Because at the end of the day, yes, you may buy for investment, but you may decide one day that you want to drink this wine, and you want to make sure that you drink something that you like.
On average, would you say that the wines in ST Wine would at least hold their value?
Wine will nearly always hold this value, except some very specific, unique product, like November is coming. A lot of people all about a special wine, the Beaujolais wine, that have to be consumed before the end of the year. So after that, the value will not maintain. But for most of the wine, the value will keep. But you have to think of what we call daily wine, wines that are being made for you to enjoy immediately. This wine, you will keep them 1 year, 2 years. You are not going to give them 10 years or 20 years because they do not have the power to last. In that case, such wine will have a remaining value for 1 or 2 years. Other wines, you are talking 5, 7, 10 years. Again, investment. Are you buying investment with a return in 3 years, or are you buying investment with a return in 50 years? You are not going to look at the same portfolio. So ST Wine, at the same time, they give you information telling you drink now, or you could keep, or you will appreciate.
I see. So there will be a range in ST Wine. Some wines that you get may be for drinking earlier. Say a nice fruity white, a fruit-driven white, no oak, for example, and we want to drink that soon. But the notes that come with the wine will let you know that.
Exactly. ST Wine have been looking at the wine, getting the information, and try to give you what we call simple and easy to understand information on this wine. Drink it now or keep it. The wine people love to have an amazing vocabulary, but sometimes you read the tasting notes, and when you finish reading, you say, it sounds beautiful, but what does it mean? So ST Wines, as much as possible, stay away from that, and we spend time, I will nearly say, translate the tasting note of many of the wine.
Fantastic. At the same time, some of the wines you get will be worth keeping then. So there'll be some that say keep for... What's the upper limit then?
It's always difficult to say upper limit, but a wine that have been classified as being able to be kept 7 to 10 years is a safe duration.
Okay.
You have wine now that people buy that are 50, 60-year-old, and they are still amazing. So the more we have time in front of us, so which means time behind us, the more we know that the wine have been moving.
Interesting. Well, there's wine for drinking. There's another element to wine, isn't there? There's pairing it with food, enjoying it with food. How does ST Wine fit into wine and food pairing?
In ST Wine, you have the chance to have Heidi, which is your great chef. We also have a passion for wine. So very often we speak, we exchange information, and she experiments with food. And what is important is that you usually enjoy your wine with what you eat on a daily basis. And she is talking about pairing wine with a local food, which is extremely important.
You're, of course, talking about my colleague Hedy Koo. Could you pick maybe the most interesting pairing of wine and food that you've worked with her on or that she's picked up and introduced?
Very recently, we were just past the mooncake season. Mooncake. Do you think of pairing wine with mooncake? Not immediately. And we think of port, which is a fortified wine, but that pair perfectly with a mooncake. At first, the first reaction, no, don't pair wine with mooncake. And then after trying, yes, recommend pairing wine with mooncake.
So yet another reason to consider either an ST Wine package, 3 months, 6 months, or on a per bottle basis, because there's that option too, right, to go through the site. And
if you are a very busy person who do not have time to look and to check at the single bottle offers that are very always present and moving on ST Wine, you take the package. Then you are going to be exposed, you are going to be able to understand and discover wine at home, slowly, and really enjoy the work that have been done by ST Wine.
But you have the option at stwine.sg. You can buy single bottles, and of course you can buy subscription and be introduced to a selection of wines and have, as you mentioned, the work done for you. You're enjoying the effort someone has put into curating an interesting selection for you.
Exactly. You are being offered an introduction to lifestyle. And when I say introduction, it could be at various levels, because in the package that ST Wine put in place, there is option for people who are discovering wine, but also for people who are already wine connoisseur and amateur.
Thanks, Roderic. We've been speaking with Roderic Proniewski, a wine specialist who has worked with ST Wine and runs his own wine business, Asia Wine Network. This has been Money Hacks. Until next time, goodbye.
That was an SPH podcast. Find us on iTunes, Google Podcasts, and streaming on Google Home. Do send your feedback to podcast@sph.com.sg